Hi, I'm Ivan. I'm from Oaxaca, Mexico, living in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Today I'm going to show you something different. Swedish style cabbage rolls with boiled dill potatoes. I got this idea because my in-laws are Norwegians and I find out that I really like Scandinavian cooking. The ingredients for the stuffed cabbage rolls are cabbage, of course, and today I'm going to use Napa cabbage. This cabbage has a different texture than the cabbage we all know, and it's similar to the cabbage Swedish people use in their cooking. We are also gonna use 1 large onion diced, a tablespoon of butter that we're going to use to saute our onion. We also gonna use 9 ounces of ground beef, half a cup of rice that I'm gonna cook later on for our stuffing, 1 beaten egg that I'm gonna beat it later, salt and pepper for seasoning or stuffing. Also, traditionally this dish is served with lingonberry sauce, but I couldn't find any in the store, so I'm gonna use my own sauce I made. This one is cranberry rhubarb, and if you want the recipe you can comment down below and ask about the recipe. First thing I want you to do is preheat your oven to 400 degrees because we're going to need it to cook our rolls later on. Then we're going to cook our rice because we need cooked and cool rice for our stuffing. So we're going to start by adding our 1 cup of water and half a cup of rice, and we're going to let it boil, and after it boils we're going to simmer it for about 10 or 15 minutes or until the rice is cooked and tender. So let it cover it, let it boil, and then we can turn down the heat. Rice has been simmering for a while and it's ready right now, so I'm gonna turn the heat off, and as you can see it's really nice and fluffy, and I'm gonna put it to the side so it can cool down. Meanwhile, I'm gonna start sauteing my onions. We want the onions sauteed until they're softened, so I'm gonna start doing that. I'm gonna start my saute pan in medium heat. Now that our saute pan is hot, we're gonna add the butter and we're going to melt it for a little while, and then now we can, it's fine if you add the onions while still melting. And now we're going to saute our onions until they're softened, and after they're softened we're also going to cool down the onions so they're not really hot when we mix our stuffing ingredients together. And we're going to cook these onions for about 2-3 minutes. Now that my onions are softened enough, I'm going to mix these onions and the rice I cooked before into the mixing bowl I'm gonna use for my stuffing, and I'm gonna do something that is gonna help me speed up the process. I'm going to put my bowl in the freezer so it helps me to cool down my items for my stuffing faster, and I'm not gonna have to wait for so long if I leave these items outside. So let's put our onions first. Let's put our saute here, and now our rice, and we can even mix them all together right now and put them in the freezer. And and keep on checking if you put it in the freezer, because we don't want the rice and the onion to freeze. We only want them to cool down a little bit, so when we add the egg, the temperature won't cook the egg. To the next step, that is blanching my cabbage leaves. So I'm using 2 quarts of water and salt, and I'm gonna blanch the leaves for about 1 minute so they're soft. Cabbage leaves have been blanching for about a minute, and now it's time to take them out of the water. Just make sure not to bring a lot of water with them. Try to strain them. There you go. 4, let's do 2, 3 together. There you go. Now that we have all the leaves out, I'm gonna use my cutting board and my knife to cut the middle part. This part is a little bit rough and tough, so that's what you're gonna need to do. Cut just the middle part so we have a nice tender leaf and not the hard part. Now that our rice and onions have chilled, we're going to start with mixing our meat. And we're going to beat the egg. And add it to the other items we already mixed. And one thing I forgot, as always, it's thyme. So we're gonna add 1/4 of a teaspoon of thyme. If you like more, you can add more or less. It depends on your taste. And in here we are also gonna add black pepper to your taste. I'm gonna add around 1/2 teaspoon and some salt, around about 1. Oops, it's gone. So I need to get some more. I'm going to add like 1 teaspoon. And now I need to mix all the ingredients. Make sure to mix it well so you have a little bit of everything in each roll. Know that one roll might come out with more rice or more meat or more onions only. So make sure to mix it really well. And a little bit more. So see how you can see a little bit of everything everywhere. See? So that's what we need. Now let me wash my hands. And I'm going to start stuffing my cabbage leaves. But first, let me get some oil so they don't stick in the bottom. About 1 tablespoon, or a little bit more if you want. Depends how much you want in each leaf. Let's roll them. And then let's tuck the ends and put it in our baking dish. So let's do another. Put them all together. So like this one is a little bit bigger, so let's add a little bit more. There you go. Roll them and tuck the ends and put it in the baking pan. So let's do the same with all of our cabbage leaves. Now that our rolls are all stuffed, I'm going to brush the top of the rolls with a little bit of melted butter, and then they're going to go in our preheat oven at 400 degrees and cook for about 40 minutes and until they're a little bit golden brown on top. So let's brush the rolls with the melted butter. There you go. Let's cover them all with butter. Now they're all covered with butter, and I'm gonna put them in the oven. And I'm gonna set the time for 40 minutes. Now that our stuffed rolls are in the oven, I'm going to start prepping my boiled potatoes, and I'm gonna peel them first, and then I'm going to cut it in 8 pieces, just like this, all of them. And then after our potatoes are soft and tender, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter and the dill weed and salt and pepper, of course. There you go. And the last one. Let's grab it and put it in our pan. I cut some potatoes in advance. And now I'm just going to cover all the potatoes with cold water, let them boil, like I said, for about 10 minutes or until they're soft. And also add some salt so it has a little bit of flavor. Our potatoes are ready, so to finish our boiled dill potatoes, I'm gonna add about 2 tablespoons of butter. Just gonna stir so all the butter melts. If you like a little bit more than 2 tablespoons of butter, that's fine. It won't damage this dish, it's fine. Now I'm gonna add the salt to taste. I'm gonna add about 1 teaspoon and about half a teaspoon of black pepper. There. Mix it. And now I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of dill weed and same, stir it. There you go. There you have your dill boiled potatoes. And just for presentation, I'm just gonna chop up some parsley finely. Just rough if you want, you don't need to do it really finely. And just add a little bit and mix it. And there you have your boiled dill potatoes. Now let's see how our rolls are doing, and I guess they're ready. And look at that. They're ready. So now let's plate them. This one here. Let's grab 2 rolls. And a little bit of the potatoes we made. Just put it in here for a minute. And some of the sauce. You can put it on top, you can put it on the side. You decide how do you want them. And now let's try it. Oops, it's fighting. Very good. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe. Please like the video, comment and share.